What is the least necessary instruction to tell a tennis player? Probably watch the ball. It's like the most, well, duh, piece of advice ever. And it's the thing that people have heard millions of times, not just in tennis, baseball, I don't know, volleyball, softball, golf. Like we all know, of course, we're supposed to watch. Like the whole point is to hit the ball. So we need to watch the ball. Listen carefully. Your tennis performance has nothing to do with your knowledge. It has everything to do with your habits. In other words, it makes no difference how much you know and understand that you're supposed to watch the ball. What matters is what deeply grooved habits are actually a part of your nervous system. And there's no relationship at all between your knowledge and your habits. Seems like there should be, but there's not. One is just based on information that we store away in our brain, and the other one is based on repetitive training and execution that is either high quality or low quality. And the only way to know whether it's high quality or low quality is to record yourself and see what the hell do I actually do? And you might be shocked that it's not what you know you're supposed to do. So, case in point, this student that I just had, and I need to make like a deep dive on this because I've had multiple students, and there's always, as I continue to coach, things pop up that I wish I've been doing this for over 20 years. And that thing here is, look at where I have the iPad set up here. My student told me, I'm struggling with my volleys. It's a doubles player with great volley technique, by the way, but he was struggling with shanking high, easy sitting volleys. And so first of all, you don't get video analysis in tennis lessons. Nobody records themselves. So first of all, how about we find out what's actually happening? Well, it turns out his mechanics were excellent, but generally when you record for mechanics or technique, you're going to set up the camera either behind the player or to the side of the player. Look at where I have the iPad here. It's on the other side of the net, looking towards the player, so that I can track his face and his eyes and see where he's looking when he hits the ball. Contact is happening over here. His eyes are looking over here. Like, not even in the ballpark. When you make contact with a solid volley, the ball typically is at about a 45-degree angle. The ball is not, spoiler alert, ball is not in front of you relative to the net. It should be in front of you relative to your body. And when you make I don't have time to unpack what I'm about to say here, but just go with me for a second. Great tennis players turn about 45 degrees to the side for a forehand volley and about 90 degrees to the side for a backhand volley. And contact happens in front of the body. That means contact is made to the side. And that means if you're going to watch the ball into your racket for precision and quality of contact, your head is going to have to turn to track the ball into your racket, or else you will physically not be able to see the ball. You won't be able to see the ball unless your head turns. And with this particular student, the higher the ball got, here, let me show you another one. The higher the ball got, the more his face continued to stay forwards while the ball was to the side. So this is a good example. This is above shoulder height. This would be a very attackable ball, and he was mishitting a lot of these types of shots because his eyes were tracking where the ball was about to go and not where the ball actually was when he was hitting the ball. There's a high one in here, right? Yeah, right. Is this the one? Yeah, here we go. So the situation here is I'm rallying with my student. He's a doubles player. We're rallying cross court on the deuce side, and I was just hitting him a wide range of forehands, backhands. But I set the camera up here to track his visual acuity on forehands specifically because those were the ones he was shanking the most. Look at where his eyes are. They're looking out in this direction. But look at where the ball is. And I'm not laughing at this player. I have seen just recently a bunch of students, a string of students who have been playing the game for a long time, many of them very accomplished, many of them playing at a solid level. Watch the pattern here, how his eyes start, like right now, you can tell he's tracking the ball. But here, let me actually go back further. So he's watching me hit right now. Now he's reading it's a forehand. Watch his face and watch his eyes. Now he's, as of this moment, he still sees the ball, but there's a point about 6 or 8 feet out in front of him where the ball is going to enter the frame. And this is, here we go. This is exactly the type of ball he was struggling with. Kind of floating, kind of high, kind of loopy, definitely like attackable type of ball. But look at the separation between his eyes and where the ball actually is. Of course he's going to shank a lot of these. Now, telling him for the 20,000th time, oh, by the way, you got to watch, that's not helpful. Unfortunately, today, I don't have time to unpack all of the process we went through together. But please listen to what I'm about to say very carefully. Getting him to change this habit and track the ball into the racket, which I'm going to show you, the next day, he finally started to do this accurately and precisely. It took a significant amount of work, effort, concentration, repetition, and a significant amount of managing the challenge level in the environment for my student. If I just kept rallying with him, he could not do it. If I had the ball machine hit the same ball to him over and over, he could not do it. His habit was too deep. It required me going all the way back to tossing like very slow, like 10 feet in front of him, underhand, 5-mile-an-hour tosses before he could finally start to do what he knew he was supposed to be doing and what he's assumed he's been doing for years and years and years. Now, this is later in the training. This is the next day. We did a bunch of training on day 1. Here's day 2. And this is out of the ball machine now. So we have progressed. We have layered different amounts of challenge multiple times here, all the way down to basic, most easy, and then all the way back up again to receiving a ball out of the ball machine. I'm so proud of this student because watch this. This is on like a 40, 50 mile an hour ball now coming out of the ball machine. Watch his eyes and watch his face turn and actually stay there through the point of, man, I can't tell you. And there's a part of, if you're still watching right now, there is a part of you that doesn't believe what I'm saying. There's a part of you, there's a piece of you that doesn't want to believe that you have the same problem that this player had. And I'm telling you, there's a high percentage chance that you do. You also, there's a part of you, if you're still watching, most people have already left the video. So those of you who are still here have a much higher degree of willingness to probably hear what I'm saying right now. There's also a part of you that doesn't want to believe that this should require any kind of special or unique training because it's such a basic, obvious, cliche thing that you, up until this point, you've probably just assumed you're doing well. This is where people get stuck. It's with the basic, fundamental, obvious habits that, of course, they know that they should be doing it. And because it's so obvious, they assume that they must be, but they're not. And that's why they're not a high. If you're not already a 4 or 5 tennis player, the odds are extremely high that you are not doing what my student is doing right here. The odds are very, very, very high. And if you go out today after watching this video, and you're like, and if you trust me enough, and you believe me, maybe you'll go out later today and hit some balls and be like, okay, Ian tells me like I'm probably not actually watching the ball, so I need to work on this. And if you don't take any special measures with your training, you still won't do it. Please hear me say this. I so desperately want to merge together reality with training for the everyday tennis player. My day-to-day reality or existence is capturing evidence of players not doing the things that every coach, every lesson they've paid for before coming to see me, they already know the thing, but they're just still not frickin' doing it. That's why, I'm so adamant about the things that I talk about in my training. And I honestly, year after year, I feel more and more like a crazy person. Because it's the most basic, obvious things that nobody does. And it requires breaking the mold of normal training. It requires breaking the mold of normal lessons. It requires breaking the mold of normal practice. Or you will just continue to make the same mistakes, do the same training, do the same practice, play at the same level over and over, a year after year after year after year. Stop. Just make it stop. To be honest, I'm grateful that people travel from long distances to come see me and frankly invest a lot of money for my time. The only reason why it happens is because of this crazy cycle I'm describing back at home. They keep getting told the same things, getting put in the same drills, doing the same practice, and getting the same results. And there's a small percentage of humans out there that finally have enough, and that's how I get my students. And then they have to learn how to actually watch the ball. But those are not, the lessons that get lots of clicks on YouTube, which is unfortunate. Anyway, I'm kind of ranting here. Hopefully something here is helpful. If you would like to see another lesson, probably on the main channel where I take a deep dive into what I actually did with the student, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Keep up the great work in your game. I'll talk to you again soon.